Welcome back to the Lipoedema podcast. We are your hosts, Shell
and Tiana, and today it's another episode with just Shell and I shooting the breeze. But instead of us being in the same room, Shell is on holidays. Where are you?
I'm in Coffs Harbour at the moment, and it's absolutely beautiful. But there's a storm brewing, so it's getting a bit windy and a bit crazy. But where our room is, it's just all like lush rainforest looking out onto it. So it's quite nice.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I've never been to Coffs Harbour, so that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, this is probably our third time. So Dave and I came down here before kids and we went whale watching. And then we came down with the kids a few years ago. And this is probably our third time coming down.
I love that. So today we wanted to talk about the things that we're currently doing to support our lipedema. And because it changes, right? We sort of go through ebbs and flows. What I'm doing right now looks a bit different. And what you're doing right now has really changed over the past few months, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I think that's something that's really come to light for me is because I used to feel really guilty if I didn't do something. And I think I've now had this beautiful mindset change where just do enough, and really sort of slow it down and not be so hard on myself if I don't hit those targets every day. Because to be honest, every day is so different. You can't be so rigid, even about what you eat. Everything, I just am really trying to do that step back and look after myself as a whole person, not just as lipedema.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like I need constant reminders not to be so rigid, not rigid in my actions, but rigid in my approach. If I can't do something because I don't have time, I lament on that. And it's not healthy to lament on that. So, I struggle with being flexible like that because in my mind, I know I've got this whole plan and then nothing always goes to plan. Life is life and that's the beautiful craziness of life. But then I can't, there's a barrier there for my mind to be I can't do this now because this has happened and this has happened and what do I do? And then I'm just accept it, Tiana, it's fine. But then there's that internal battle. I know what I have to do and I know I have to accept it, but I really struggle to get there.
Yeah. And that's your personality.
Yeah.
That's definitely your personality. So it is hard. And especially when we get this diagnosis and we're you need to do these things. And it's all the things. And I think we feel we have to do all the things. But we don't have to do all the things all the time. They're just things in our toolbox that we can pull out when we can. So we're away at the moment. But last week when I was at home, I'm I'm not wearing compression as much because I used to wear compression all the time to work because I wore dresses to work. But now we're just sort of at home, going to the hospital. I'm really just chucking on jeans and T-shirts or, pants and tops. And I don't like wearing compression with pants. It just makes me feel icky. So I sort of came up with this little plan that if I don't wear compression during the day, then when we sit down at night, I'll put my compression pants on, my boots on, my pumps.
Yeah.
And then I was I love going for walks. So last week I went for a couple of walks. And then I'm if I don't get to go for a walk, because, that's half an hour and then there's the getting organized to do it all. If I don't get to go for a walk, I'll jump on my vibration plate. So I've sort of come up with these two if-then scenarios for myself that when we get home, I'm going to start working on those. So if I am not putting compression on, I know that later in the day, I'll just chuck pumps on. And if I haven't carved out time for a walk, quick jump while dinner's cooking, I'll quickly jump on the vibration plate. And it feels good in my mind, to know that I've come up with these little scenarios for myself. So I don't feel all is lost. I did nothing. I'm no, I've got these little safety nets in place. It would be better for me to wear compression all day. It would be better for me to go for a walk and get out in the fresh air. But if that's too much for me, putting pumps on at night or jumping on the vibration plate, they're my alternatives.
Yeah. It's so funny that you mentioned those lots of two things, because I'm sort of similar. So I'm not wearing my compression at the moment. My compression doesn't, my beautiful Medi compression doesn't fit me at the moment, so I'm not wearing them. So I get in my lymphopress every night. And so it feels to me like, well, at least I'm doing the lymphopress. But then that's where the rigidity fits in, because I know I'm not wearing compression all day. If I don't have time to get in my lymphopress, or if the day and night have gone crazy, sleep regression, baby sleep regression, kids not going to sleep, and then I have to choose between sleep and lymphopress, that's where I feel like, but I already have cut out one thing. I already have cut out the compression. So I try very hard to go in my lymphopress, one, because it's good for me, but two, because it's bloody relaxing. And that's actually a beautiful way to wind down at the end of the day, to get ready for sleep. Like, it's my progression to sleep, and I love doing it. So when my night gets disrupted, that's where I'm a little bit annoyed. But the vibration plate, I couple that with exercise as well. So in the morning, if I am feeling really energetic, I will do a workout. If I'm not feeling energetic, I will hop on my vibration plate. If for some reason my morning is free, I wake up early, my kids sleep in or something, I'll do both. And that's amazing. That's like gold standard. That feels like I've really done something great for
That's
the
a
day.
huge win.
Huge win for the day. Often it's one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've got it goes back to that, the floor and the ceiling. And at different times, like, that floor can change as well. Like, I have been dry brushing, actually. I've still been doing my dry brushing in the mornings. Like, that's sort of my one thing. But something I hadn't spoken about is there's a lady who I bought all my skincare off when I first started wearing makeup. Was that about a year ago? I started wearing makeup and I bought all my stuff off of this lady. And she actually made up a bath oil for me. And so I use that every day and it makes my skin so beautiful. So that's another little thing I do for my lymphatic system. Like, I use my loofah and I do that as well. So I think these other things in there I don't realize I'm doing, because they are just part of a habit and they don't take extra time. Like, that is just part of, like, brushing your teeth or going to the toilet. That is just part of what I do now. So yeah, I do that every day as well.
Yeah, I want to get more into my dry brushing with my Chelsea Jean gloves, and I was pairing it with the vibration platform in the morning, and I could actually pair it with the lymphopress at nighttime, because it's upper body, right? So the lymphopress can work on the lower, but there's something that's not clicking, because I was doing it on the vibration plate, but then when I get lazy, I like to watch my phone and watch a movie or something, and I'm holding my phone. So like, that's a barrier to me using my arms in the dry brush. And then at nighttime, I don't think about it. And so I've already hopped into my lymph press and I'm like, my gloves are over there. No, well, but my arms are really, they're blowing. And I say blowing up, to me, they feel like they're blowing up. They're getting very sore. Bruises are showing up left, right, and center, and they stay there. Like, I've got, this one's been there for 3 weeks and I have no idea how I got it. They just sore and inflamed. And so I recognize that it's probably something that I need to focus on, is doing that dry brushing on my upper body. So I need to get it together and pair it with something, because that pairing seems to work really nicely. When I do this, I also do this.
Yeah, that habit stacking, it's so powerful.
Yes, habit stacking. Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just not there yet. I know that I have to get there.
But you're also doing boot camp. Do you call it boot camp? Or just training with the ladies?
It's Mums and Bubs fitness class. So it's with a PT, and she has these classes, and you can rock up with your baby, or obviously if your baby's being cared for, you can rock up on your own. But we're all sort of in that postpartum period, and some of them have more than one child that's not in school yet. So, the kids can sit on the play mat. The PT has toys. She helps with rocking the prams and the babies if they need help. And some mums have to stop midway through and breastfeed. And it's just, we're all sort of doing it. And the workout is fun. And you just feel like you're with a community, and you push really hard. Like, some women who are newly postpartum will take it easier. And then because I'm, 8 months postpartum, I can sort of push myself a little bit more, use the heavier weight options, really try and do the reps, perfectly. And sometimes, not lately, but before there was only a couple of us, and sometimes I'd get private sessions because she didn't have mums. I mean, when you think about it, postpartum period, and you've got a newborn, if they don't have a good sleep, you're not coming and showing up and doing a workout. If they're teething, it's really hard to show up and, they're crying the whole time. So there's been some instances where I've gotten that PT session out of it, which has been incredible. So
Love
I
that.
feel like my strength has gotten even better than it was postpartum, pre-Nova, which is amazing. My endurance is not so great. So I used to work out every morning, 5 days a week, without fail. But now that I'm doing these 1-hour classes, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I need a couple of days to recover. I don't have that endurance to do a workout every day. So that's where I need to focus, because I'm really happy with my strength progress, but I need that strength progress to be coupled with the fact that I can do it multiple times a day. Not the same muscle groups, multiple times a week. Not the same muscle groups, but, for example, yesterday we did a whole body workout, but like the leg stuff wasn't super heavy on the weights. So this morning I had enough stamina to do a lower body workout. But tomorrow I'll probably wake up and be quite tired and I might not be able to do something tomorrow. I might go for a walk instead. But I'm used to pre-Nova working out 5 days a week, like hard workouts for 30 minutes. So it's a bit different, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's awesome progress. And it is so much better when you've got people with you.
You can push yourself more with other people. And with a PT present to like check you on your form, I will never work that hard and use that amount of weight on my own in my living room for safety reasons. But you can push yourself a little bit harder, and you want to when you're around other women, because we're all pushing ourselves. Last week, I was really suffering through my premenstrual symptoms, and I was like, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do the best I can. And the lady that was there with me was feeling great, and she smashed it. And I was trying to keep up with her because she motivated me to like really try hard. So this, I'm just going to go and do the best I can, turned into this monster effort, which wouldn't have happened if I didn't go to this class and be pushed by her. So it was pretty amazing. Now, Shell, you were telling me that on like Coffs Harbour that it's all like rainforest, and you've been going for like walks in there.
Yeah.
That must be incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so I did actually have to like pull myself back though. So yesterday I went for a walk, and like I haven't been for a sort of hike in a long time. And like where I walked, it's up around sort of a cape. So it's quite an endurance event getting up to the top. And I was like, oh, I probably don't want to overdo it because I want to be able to enjoy it more. So so I went out there and hearing the waves crashing. You've got all of this rainforest around you. So you've got all of this oxygen, fresh oxygen coming at you. And, like I'm a bit of a sensory seeker. So I love the sound when you like walking on dirt or on gravel. So, I'm walking on the dirt. And so I'm getting that as well. Absolutely beautiful. And there's 3 different walks. So I did one yesterday, and then I started doing the second one and realized it went up quite high as well. I might be pushing it. So I'd already been out for half an hour. And so, so I'm going to try and do the other walks as well while we're here. So, it's
beautiful.
really...
There's nothing like walking out in nature. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And because it's a little bit cool as well, like because it's cooled down a bit. So, I had my hoodie on, but I was getting a bit warm wearing it, like because I was walking and everything was starting to work. But it was absolutely beautiful. I didn't even have headphones on. I was just sunnies and walked. So
yeah, that's so nice. I often have my headphones and I'm listening to something like a podcast or something when I walk. And, there's been the odd occasion where like my headphones will be out of battery or something and I have to walk in silence. And I think that takes some getting used to, but actually it's quite nice.
Yeah, it's so much easier to be mindful of your surroundings when you haven't got your headphones on.
Yeah, true.
Which I love listening to things when I'm walking because I the time goes so fast. But yeah, there's a beauty in not having your headphones and just paying attention to the world around you as well.
Yeah, especially when you're in a beautiful environment like in a rainforest or at the beach or something like that, like taking it all in.
Yeah.
So you were doing a lot of like water therapy and stuff previously. Are you doing that kind of thing at the moment?
Not at the moment. No, not at the moment. Dave and I did go and hop in the spa here this morning and had a bit of time in the spa, which was lovely. We tried the pool, but it was just a little cold.
Yeah.
So we're like, no, we'll just hop in the spa. So we sat in the spa for half an hour and that was beautiful. But yeah, I will. I think I've spoken about it before, and probably by the time this airs, there's a new gym opening near my house. So I intend to go there. They'll have reformer Pilates and things like that. But for right now, it's just nailing the basics.
Did you bring your dry brushes with you on your trip? Like, do you bring them along?
I usually do. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. But I do have like some nice body wash and a face washer. And I find if you just follow the sequence, you can even just do it with your hands. So yeah, you don't need fancy things. You can just use your hands. And also, like, I've been putting my legs up against the wall too while we're down here.
This airs after, I think this will air, so we're currently in early June. So this is a little bit later, but Lipoedema Awareness Month was in June and Lipoedema Australia had the Legs Up the Wall Challenge, which is very good. I haven't been able to fit that into my schedule, unfortunately, but I used to do it often, and I used to do it on my Sharky mat. You know, the spiky mats, the mats with the spiky. So I would lay down on the spiky mat and have my legs up the wall, and that would be a good 10, 15 minutes. I don't think I could do that at the moment because that spiky mat takes a lot of getting used to. It's spicy when you first start.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I've never been good at it.
It takes a while to get used to. I mean, I used to stand on it as well, and I can't imagine standing on it now.
Oh, wow.
You know what, 7 kilos heavier than I would usually be. Yeah, I think I would need lots of socks to be able to stand on that at the moment.
Yes, that would be very spiky at the moment.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, and about the dry brushing, you're so right. You don't actually need to have like anything on your hands. I mean, when you think about our lymphatic therapists that do our manual lymphatic drainage massage, they either use an oil or they use like a powder that gives you some resistance and they just pull the skin. Like they don't use anything. So really we could do that just with our bare hands.
Absolutely. And even one thing I always do is when I dry myself, I even dry in sequence.
Oh,
so everything I do, like when I'm having a shower, I make sure that I'm drying in the right sequence too, like dry up my legs and dry down my arms. Yeah.
That's a good tip. I mean, you've got to dry yourself after the shower. You may as well dry yourself in the sequence.
Yeah. And the other thing I have been doing actually is when I wake up in the morning, I do 10 belly breaths, like box breathing though. So like 5 in, hold, 5 out, hold. Yeah, so I've been doing 10 of those before I even get out of bed in the morning.
That's a nice way to start the day.
Yeah. Just calm everything down, get everything moving. Yeah, it's really good. And it's so easy.
It is easy and it's not too time consuming. The world sort of stops when you breathe properly, like the 10 belly breaths, they take some time when you're so present. It feels, it feels like time stops. I do the deep breathing when I'm in my lymphopress. And so I've opened up all of this and the lymphopress starts and I stop myself every now and then because I'm usually watching a movie or listening to something and I stop myself and go, oh yeah, I need to do some deep breathing and I redo like some of the points and deep breathe. And it's amazing because you hear that gurgle sometimes of the lymph moving and you're like, that was a good one. And it only happens when you breathe deeply while it's all happening.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It's crazy how important breath is, like breathing properly.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, I don't know. I never know how to end these like chat podcasts. They sort of like naturally come to the end of our conversation. I'm like, we've got to end this somehow. Huh?
We need to come up with something. But I think we said that a few episodes ago. We need to come up with a goodbye sequence.
Yeah. One day.
One day.
Anyway, I don't have any. Do you have anything else to add about what we're doing
No,
at the moment?
that's all I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, we'll probably like in a few months we'll do another one of these, and like
Yeah.
what we're doing is going to be a bit different. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's relatable because our
Absolutely.
circumstances change throughout everything.
Yeah. All different seasons and the ebbs and flow of everything.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you for our chat as always.
No problem. Thank you.
Until our next episode.
Bye. The Lipoedema Podcast 2025 is powered by Elegance Lymphatic Care. Lipoedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced in this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipoedema Podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.